Hey guys, it's Grace. Quiches are basically eggs in pie crust. Where's the cheese? Hello, where is it? I want cheese in my quiche. And that's what I'm delivering today. I'm gonna be making the most cheesy quiche you'll ever have with smoky ham and leeks. You're gonna die because it's that good. And it all starts with leeks. So this is a leek, and we need to cut the leek into little thin strips, just like this. And if you haven't used leeks before, you're about to fall in love with leeks. They're kind of like a mild onion. I love them so much, especially with eggs and with ham. They're just so yummy. So I took the dark green part off of my leek and the end of the leek, ew. And then I'm going to just cut the leek in half lengthwise to expose the inside. Isn't it so pretty? And then I'm just gonna take one of these at a time, and I'm just gonna run my knife down the leek into thin little pieces. My leeks are cut. Aren't they so pretty? But they're best when they're cooked off just slightly instead of being completely raw. So we're gonna bring these over to the stove and we're just gonna heat them up a little bit. Let's go. So I added just a touch of butter and olive oil to my pan here, and it's nice and hot. And now I'm gonna add my leeks all into the pan here. And I'm just gonna saute the leeks for about 2 to 3 minutes until they get nice and soft and look a little bit cooked. You don't want them to be brown, you still want them to be green, but just cook them off a little bit. It's time to assemble our quiche. We have our assembly station going on right here, and obviously we need a crust to start with our quiche. So I have here a pretty sad looking crust, to be honest. I got this in the grocery store. You can usually get a pie crust that's rolled up into a spiral, and then you roll it out into your own pie dish and bake it. You can also get a pie crust in one of these that's pre-placed in the pie dish, and you can use that as well, or you can make your own pie dough. I like to par bake my crust. So usually there's instructions to bake it just very, very lightly. And that's what you wanna do before you start adding any ingredients to the pie dough here, or else you're gonna end up with very, very soggy crust. So I'm going to set this very sad pie crust aside, and I'm gonna show you my leeks. These are my beautiful leeks that I just sauteed enough to turn bright green and soft. And that's the first part of making this quiche, is you're just gonna add your sauteed leeks to the bottom of your pie crust. So our leeks are down, and now it's time to work on our ham. So I have here some pre-cooked ham that I got in the grocery store. It comes like this. You can get like a mini little ham hock. And I took this outside kind of skin off. You can use it for like omelets or something like that. And I sliced it real thin like this, and then I cubed it up to look like that. So all I did was I just cut it into pieces just like that, and you stack them. And then you can make thin little strips, push them back together, flip them around, and then go the other way to make little cubes, just like that. So I'm going to now add my ham to the top of my leeks in a nice even layer. You don't need to use it all, just, you know, go with the flow. Whatever you like is what you should go for. Now it's time for my favorite part. I told you that this quiche would be cheesy. It's gonna be really cheesy. So I have some Parmesan cheese here, Parmesan Reggiano if you wanna be fancy. And then I have some Emmentaler, or you can use Jarlsberg cheese. It's kind of like a nutty, flavorful Swiss cheese. You can also use Gruyere. You can really use whatever cheese you like. I like this because it's a nice melting cheese. So I'm gonna add the parm right into the bowl, with the Emmentaler cheese, and I'm just going to give this all a nice toss. So then I'm going to take some big handfuls of cheese, and again, imagine that the crust is up further. Mine is gonna be weird. And you're just going to do some big handfuls of cheese, and it might look absolutely ridiculous, but I'm telling you, when you mix it with the egg mixture later, it's gonna be the perfect amount of cheese. You're gonna want to make the cheese be slightly rounded above the pie dish, but obviously not overflowing. So don't be shy with your cheese. I'm telling you, this makes a good quiche. It's all about the cheese. So I have here some heavy cream in a big pitcher here to make my life easier. And then I have 3 eggs. That's all you need. I'm gonna give them a good crack right in with the heavy cream. So I'm gonna take a whisk, and I'm just gonna whisk together my eggs and heavy cream. And this is the binder for our quiche. It's gonna bring everything together. I'm gonna take my pitcher, and I'm gonna start pouring this cream egg mixture into my quiche. And you need to do this very slowly because you need to give the cream mixture time to seep into your quiche and to not overflow over the sides. So you're gonna go really slow in like a spiral shape here until your quiche looks full of cream mixture. You don't want it to be overflowing though. Last touch is a little bit of green. We're gonna add some chives right onto the top of our quiche, just like that. Ooh, it's gonna bring everything together. All right, so we're gonna pop our quiche in the oven at 350 for about an hour and 15 minutes. For the first 30 minutes, you're gonna leave your quiche uncovered, and then you're going to lightly tent your quiche with a piece of foil for the last 45. Let's go bake it. Quiche. Cheesy quiche. Look at how cheesy and amazing. This came out of the oven about 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. It's best to let your quiche just sit a little bit so that it sets, and when you cut it, it doesn't kind of run all over the place. But look at this piece. That is a cheesy quiche. All that caramelization on the top. Oh. Okay, here we go. Look at this string. The cheese makes it. No more eggy quiche. Eggy quiche. The ham is just smoky. It kind of penetrates the whole thing. The leeks add just a little bit of oniony bite. This is a 12 out of 10. Check it out on tastefullygrace.com. You won't regret it.